She was just a great person, would do anything for anybody.
Tonight we're learning more about the 4 victims killed by a gunman at a Montana bar on Friday and the ongoing manhunt for the killer.
We're tracking scattered storms tonight and another chance later this week.
This location had 16 individual starts, which puts it into the suspicious category.
A local woman sits behind bars tonight accused of setting fires along the Centennial Trail. A look at the case, plus a broader look at a series of suspicious fires across the region so far this summer. Good evening and thank you for joining us for the KREM 2 Night Report. I'm Mark Hanrahan. We start tonight with 2 arson arrests in less than a month across Spokane County. Just days after the 4th of July, Spokane police arrested 37-year-old Chad Horn for allegedly setting 6 fires across Spokane. This comes as crews continue to investigate several suspicious fires across the county, including on the South Hill, Boulder Beach, and Cheney Spokane Road. And just this morning, a suspicious fire under investigation in Peoples Park. And new within the last few hours, a suspect in 2 Spokane Valley arson fires over the weekend now sits behind bars. KREM 2's Connor McAvoy spoke with investigators about what they found that led to the arrest.
Spokane County Sheriff's Office has arrested 44-year-old Sarah Beal in connection to 2 different fires that sparked Saturday morning, including one here near Coyote Rock Drive near the Centennial Trail in Spokane Valley.
There are a lot of fires that happen around here, but not usually that are started by somebody. So
Brooke Sweeney recalls the moment she and her dog Bentley first saw a fire spark on Saturday, just a short walk away from her apartment complex on Coyote Rock Drive.
And then we saw a huge billow of smoke right here where we had just been by, like just literally 2-3 minutes before.
She was shocked to learn that was the second suspicious fire crews responded to that morning. The first was near Dalton Avenue and North Woodruff Road along the Spokane River.
This location had 16 individual starts, which puts it into the suspicious category.
Abraham Nisbet with the Spokane Valley Fire Department was called to the scene to investigate both fires. Deputies arrived at the second fire near Sweeney's neighborhood and spoke to witnesses who said they saw a woman lighting fires on the trail. Deputies approached and arrested Beal, who, as it turns out, had an active warrant for abuse of the 911 emergency system. A criminal history check shows Beal was also arrested for second-degree arson in 2023 when it was believed she set a car on fire at the Barker Centennial Trailhead. Nisbet says what deputies found in her purse while investigating Saturday's fires matched what he and other investigators initially found in the aftermath of both.
A box of matches, some pillow filling, and a flammable hairspray.
She now faces arson charges as well as the unrelated misdemeanor. Nisbet says Beal's arrest isn't the first connected to intentionally set fires this year.
I personally have been involved in a handful of investigations on suspicious wildland fires that have resulted in the apprehension of 2 suspects just this summer alone.
As for Sweeney, she's thankful both fires were relatively small and that her neighbors and Bentley are safe.
Definitely glad that it didn't move towards any homes. Glad nobody was hurt. Glad there were no homes or buildings affected by it.
Beal's now booked in the Spokane County Jail and faces 2 counts of arson in the second degree for these fires. In Spokane Valley, Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
Meantime, the Spokane Fire Department is investigating a suspicious fire that broke out in Peoples Park in West Spokane this morning. Crews say they responded to a grass fire near the parking lot. Crews got the fire under control and say its cause is suspicious. Witnesses at the scene said they saw a potential suspect described as a man in his mid-60s to mid-70s driving an orange sedan, possibly a Kia. If you have any information, you're asked to call Crime Check at the number right there at the bottom of your screen. New tonight, Spokane County deputies arrested a man they say pointed a laser at one of their helicopters. Here's some video of that incident that happened this past Friday in North Spokane. According to deputies, Air One's crew reported being struck with a laser. The flight crew tracked down the suspect's location, and deputies on the ground arrested 68-year-old Ernest Donlin. He admitted to pointing the laser at the helicopter and is now facing unlawful discharge of a laser, which is a first-degree felony. Deputies say this is extremely dangerous. Just last year alone, more than 12,000 laser strikes were reported to the FAA. An all-out manhunt continues tonight for an Army veteran suspected of killing 4 people at a Montana bar. The suspect, Michael Paul Brown, has been on the run since Friday morning. Officials say Brown fled in a stolen car loaded with equipment. They believe he's alive, well-armed, and extremely dangerous. Local, state, and federal agencies have been searching the state's mountainous terrain. Officials are also talking about the 4 lives lost.
I want to offer our deepest and sincere condolences to the community of Anaconda and to the family and friends of these victims.
Victims included a bartender and 3 customers, one of whom was a beloved retired nurse. Officials are offering a $7,500 reward for any information that leads to an arrest. All right, let's take a quick break from the headlines and chat weather with Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo, standing by in the Outdoor Weather Center. Jeremy, just kind of a lovely evening, a little bit cooler, but super nice outside.
Oh man, and Mark out here got the sound of some crickets, the air conditioning cranking. It's a beautiful evening. We sit back in the 60s. It's been a while since we've been able to cool off nicely at night, and the next few nights offer us just that. We're in the 60s pretty widespread, and those temperatures are going to keep falling overnight. Notice our showers have moved out, skies are clearing, calm wind. That offers us the ability to drop in terms of temp. So we're waking up to a cool start to the day tomorrow, and then we'll see some sun. Plenty of sunshine tomorrow, but by Wednesday it looks like we get a quick passing system. Every single model run just keeps trimming back the amount of moisture we are going to see. I think it is very likely that that gets trimmed back greatly by the time we get to tomorrow evening, and by Wednesday, it looks like a couple of light scattered showers moving through. From Wednesday into Thursday, we'll get the storm center itself sliding directly overhead. And even though it doesn't really show up on forecast models, what I think is more likely is that we get a round of pop-up storms in the afternoon. That's with the storm itself and moisture in the atmosphere, so I think it's pretty likely. Tomorrow, 84 degrees, 76 on Wednesday, 77 on Thursday with those scattered storms.
All right, sounds good, Jeremy. We'll check back in with you later in the show. We are less than 24 hours away from the deadline for this year's primary election, and even without a presidential race to consider, there are still several important races. KREM 2's Cody Proctor spoke with election staff tonight. She is joining us in the newsroom with more. Cody?
According to the Spokane County Elections Manager, only about 18% of all ballots have been returned to the elections office. Now, even though that number is relatively low, there's still a lot riding on these ballots.
Time's running out to get your vote in.
To remember those deadlines.
That's the warning from Spokane County Elections Manager Mike McLaughlin Monday night. The primary election ends at 8 o'clock sharp Tuesday night. Some of the biggest decisions this time includes rejoining the Spokane Valley Rathdrum Prairie Aquifer Protection Area and the race for Spokane's District 3 City Council seat, currently held by Zach Sapone. One surprise return to the August ballot, the EMS levy for Spokane County Fire District 8. Despite passing during April's special election, a filing error forced them to resubmit for the August primary.
We just want to get that highest level of care to our citizens as quickly as possible.
Yet even with races impacting all parts of the county, the turnout's been relatively slow this year, sitting at 18% Monday night. McLaughlin says a low election turnout's typical for a year without a presidential race. By the time they get the last ballot,
We're guessing between 22 and 28% for the turnout. It's slow across the state.
for those planning to vote this primary election, McLaughlin has some quick tips.
If you mail your ballot in, make sure to check the blue box or whatever the last pickup time is. So they have to be postmarked by tomorrow.
Any later than Tuesday, and it won't count. If you'd prefer the in-person route, there are more than 24 drop boxes across Spokane County. But again, ballots need to be in by 8 p.m. Any later, and you'll miss out on making your voice heard.
And if you need information on this year's primary election, you can visit our website. That's KREM.com. We have information about the races and where to find some of those drop boxes. In the newsroom, Cody Proctor, KREM 2 News.
All right, Cody, thank you very much. Don't go to bed just yet. Spokane's construction industry clashing over a new city council ordinance. We'll explain. But first, the county is trying to cut Spokane out from making a decision on the future of scraps. That story in just 90 seconds.